Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Hare Krishna Govinda Hare Murari. Sena Narayana Vasudeva. Hare Krishna Govinda Hare Murari. Sena Narayana Vasudeva. Hare Krishna Govinda Hare Murari. Nath Narayana Vasudeva. Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare. Hari Bol. Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Welcome to our monthly Bhajan Sandhya event. Most of you on the Zoom meeting today are familiar. Once a month, we get together and engage in glorification of the Lord by reciting his pastimes from the verses that are so beautifully composed by all the Vaishnavacharyas. So normally we have a discussion from many of the scriptures, but one Friday a month we dedicate to singing these scriptures in song form. So the understanding is that these songs of the Vaishnavacharya are essentially a summary of the Vedic literature that they have understood and presented in a very simple to recite manner. So singing of the bhajans can essentially get us to singing the essence of the Vedas, such as the importance of these songs of the Vaishnavacharyas. So for a little over 2 years now, we have been doing this monthly engagement together every third Friday of the month. If you or anybody you know is keen to participate, please feel free to reach out and we can do this together. So every Friday of the month, generally, for the last few months, we have been discussing from Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's pastimes. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's pastimes, we recently studied in a course. There are actually 27 versions of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's life story documented by various acharyas. Amazing for the kind of personality he was in the times that he was present in West Bengal about 550 years ago. Amongst those 27 versions, there are two most prominent versions. One is the one that we most commonly refer to, called the Chaitanya Charitamrita. This one is composed by Krishnadas Kaviraj Thakur, Kaviraj Goswami. And the other very common, popular version of Mahaprabhu's pastimes and his life story is the Chaitanya Bhagavat. The Chaitanya Bhagavat is composed by Vrindavan Das Thakur. Vrindavan Das Thakur's appearance day we celebrated a couple of weeks ago on the 6th of June. So this pastime that I want to share with you all today is from Chaitanya Bhagavat, Antya Leela. And this is from the 9th chapter of the Antya Leela, verses 113 to 126. So at that point, Mahaprabhu had already become a sannyasi, and he was very well known, and he was established as a preacher and a proponent of the bhakti movement. So naturally, he was getting a lot of invitations from people who would want to give him respect as a sannyasi, as is the custom and tradition in most cultured families to invite holy men. So at this point in time, while everybody understood the importance of chanting, it was not yet established as to how much chanting was minimum. There was emphasis on the quality, but quantity of chanting had not been fixed before this time. So Mahaprabhu decided to drive home that point, and in order to try and do a bit of filtration and manage the number of invites he was getting, he announced that he will only go to someone who is a Laksheshwara or Lakheshwara. And generally, Lakheshwara or Laksheshwara or Lakhapati. Generally, the term Lakhapati or Lakheshwara or Laksheshwara is associated with someone who owns 100,000 in monetary value, whatever the currency is, rupees or pounds or whatever. So 1 lakh is 100,000. So when everybody heard that, everyone became worried, and all the simple people, the Brahmanas of those times, they came to Mahaprabhu and presented the fact that, oh Lord Gaurachandra, what about 100,000? We don't even have 100 or 1,000 rupees with us, because we are dependent on the dakshina and bhiksha we get from other varnas of the society. So Mahaprabhu took time to explain, and he said that I'm not referring to the money or the monetary value you have in your possession. I am saying that I will only and only honor prasadam in that person's house who will chant 100,000 names a day. Now, 100,000 names roughly translates to 64 rounds of the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. At the moment, we do 16 rounds minimum, which is about 27,000 names. So one mantra is 16 syllables, and we do the one mantra 108 times to complete one round, and that's multiplied by 16. So it comes to about 27,000 names of the Lord and his energy. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's instruction was that he will honor prasadam only in that person's house who will chant 100,000 names, give or take 64 rounds. And he was quite strict about it. And that was carried on up until Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur. His instruction also was to chant 64 rounds a day and then be eligible to invite the Lord Gaur Chandra in the house for getting prasadam honored. But Prabhupada, our dear founder Acharya and grandfather to all of us, part of this big and growing ISKCON family, was so kind and merciful and compassionate. He came to the West, set everything up, and saw the condition of the living beings where we are struggling to maintain household lives while practicing Krishna consciousness. So Prabhupada, on his own accord, gave us a discount, and he discounted the 64 rounds of chanting to just 16 rounds of chanting, which is what we do as a minimum number. And Prabhupada's instruction is that if you were to chant 16 rounds nicely, attentively, then you could get the same benefit. I remember hearing a little conversation that Prabhupada was having with one of his disciples on a morning walk. Some people sometimes, like this devotee was saying, Prabhupada, I have great difficulty in controlling my mind, especially when I'm chanting. And Prabhupada's simple response was, what mind? What is a question of mind? All you have to do is chant and hear, chant and hear. That's all. There is no question of mind in the middle. So a very simple to follow instruction. And chanting also is understood as Shravanam essentially, because we are uttering the sound vibration. And if you were to just focus on uttering the sound vibration, then we are actually throwing it out of our system. How it goes in our system is when we hear the utterance of the sound vibration. So Shravanam, or listening attentively, which is also the first step, first pillar of devotional service, is what chanting is. So careful, attentive chanting. Singing of the bhajans is an alternate in glorification of the Lord. Chanting of the name is also calling out to the Lord. Today, we just wanted to take some time at the start to recognize the contribution of our dear Srila Prabhupada and how he has made it so simple for us and explained the complex compilation of the Vedic literature into very simple to understand Srimad Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, Chaitanya Charitamrita, etc. The copy of the Bhagavad Gita we have in ISKCON, which is called As It Is the most widely distributed copy of the Bhagavad Gita in the West. So with that, we would sing one very wonderful bhajan that Sumedh can bring up on the screen. This is in glorification of our Acharya. We can together as a big family sing it in Prabhupada's honor. You can also sing it in the honor of your Guru. So it's called the Guru Puja Bhajan. And my memory of singing the Guru Puja Bhajan is this temple where I sang it for the very first time. We normally do it after the morning program, after the deity greetings, especially on festival days or on weekends until before the lockdown. So in singing this Guru Puja, we'll try and come together as Prabhupada's extended family, sing a few verses in his honor. You can do so wherever you are at your end. And at the same time, we'll try and recollect some of the early morning program times we've spent in Manchester before the lockdown. Hopefully we can get together very soon. So Sumedh, whenever you're ready, if you could get the Guru Puja prayers on the screen. and we will request if we can have a volunteer to read the translation first, so that we understand what we are singing. Can you just go to the Sanskrit ones, Sumedh? Right at the top. Yeah, further. Yeah, that's right. Okay. Yeah, let's go to the English. Okay, so do we have any volunteers? You can either raise your hands or just unmute yourself, or just call yourself out, or message. Yeah, Meena Mataji, would you like to read?
Yeah, sure.
Hare Krishna Mataji, please go for it. Translation.
So the translation first, yeah?
Translation, you can read the first 4 verses translation and we can get to someone else. Thank you.
Hare Krishna, thank you. So the translation of the Guru Charna Padma Kevala Bhakti Sattva. The lotus feet of a spiritual master are the only way by which we can attain pure devotional service. I bow down to his lotus feet with great awe and reverence. By his grace, one can cross the ocean of material suffering and obtain the mercy of Krishna. My only wish is to have my consciousness purified by the words emanating from his lotus mouth. Attachment to his lotus feet is a perfection that fulfills all desires. He opens my darkened eyes and fills my heart with transcendental knowledge. He is my Lord, birth after birth. From him, ecstatic prema emanates. By him, ignorance is destroyed. The Vedic scriptures sing of his character. Our spiritual master is the ocean of mercy, the friend of the poor, and the Lord and master of the devotees. O Lokanath Goswami, O master, be merciful unto me. Give me the shade of your lotus feet. Your fame is spread all over the 3 worlds. Hare Krishna. So do you want me to continue? It's 4 verses, so.
Kumar Prabhu, you're on the...
Sorry, I was talking to myself. Can we maybe get some more participation? What about Drishti? Drishti, are you able to read the translation for 5?
Yes, sure.
Thank you. Go for it.
By making the dust of the Vaishnava's feet the ornament of my body, ecstatic love comes. Washing the Vaishnava's lotus feet is my method of worship. By always associating with the Vaishnavas, I shall overcome the darkness of ignorance. O Srila Sanatana Goswami and Srila Rupa Goswami, who are 2 deep wells of the nectar of pure love, 2 personifications of the splendid nectar of the divine couple, and 2 desire trees by whose mercy the entire world is free from suffering. All glories to you. In your books, you 2 great souls clearly describe Prema Bhakti. You are reservoirs of the sweet nectar of the divine couple. Hearing about you brings bliss to the heart. Their sweet mellows are my shelter. You are fabulously wealthy, possessing ecstatic love for the youthful divine couple, a love more precious than gold purified in 10,000 flames. O Rupa and Sanatana Goswami, all glories to you. I beg you, please give me in charity some of these jewel necklaces.
Thank you. I think it's just 8 that we do.
The extra ones that have been added, just to glorify them.
Yeah, we'll just do the first 8. Thank you, Drishti. Hare Krishna.
So Prabhuji, I think you can sing.
Yeah, we can do it now. So this is composed by Sri Narottam Das Thakur, who's a foremost Vaishnavacharya. Guru Charana Padma Kevala Bhakti Sadma Shri Guru Charana Padma Devala Bhakti Sadma Bandamuni Savadana Prasade Bhava Koriya Krishna Prati Jayo Jayo Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Jayo Jayo Prabhupada, Nitai Gaur Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Jai.
His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Jai.
ISKCON BBD founder Acharya Jagadguru Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Jai.
Nitai Gaur Premanande.
Hari Hari Bol.
Hare Krishna. So thank you, dear devotees, for staying with us. There are a couple of reasons why we didn't do the full 8 to 10 verses as listed here. Mainly due to the interest of time. We've got 3 more bhajans lined up for the evening, and we're already past 8 o'clock. And also, the amount that we sang is what is customarily sung in the temples as well. Hare Krishna. What we'll do now is we'll just share with you a short video clip that got circulated in some of the WhatsApp groups earlier today. Just different world leaders glorifying and acknowledging the work that Prabhupada's done as founder of the International Society for Krishna Consciousness, and how significant is the contribution he's made to the entire world, not just people from the Indian origin. So it's a short video that we'll just show, and the intent is to glorify and acknowledge and share the sentiment that a lot of head of nations are sharing as well. So Sumedh, over to you whenever you're ready.
Yeah, I'm just trying to get the screenshot.
Yeah.
That should be it. Please tell me if you can hear the audio.
Not yet.
Okay, one second. Share sound. Huh?
श्रील भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी प्रभुपाद जी ने तो खुद
Start again.
भगवद गीता के लिए
Stop for a second, Sumedh. Yeah, I just wanted to mention that some of the world leaders, like the Prime Minister of India, is speaking in Hindi, but you can get the sense of the fact that he's making an acknowledgement to the hard work and the contribution Prabhupada's made. So please bear with us on that. Thank you. Go for it. Start again.
Again?
श्रील भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी प्रभुपाद जी ने तो खुद को भगवद गीता के लिए समर्पित कर दिया.
His Divine Grace, Srila Prabhupada, founded the International Society for Krishna Consciousness. And what an extraordinary man he was. At the age of 70, he traveled by ship from India to Boston, suffering 2 heart attacks on the way. He arrived in America alone and penniless.
Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. He borrowed some money from someone, insisted a lady to get him a ticket in the boat, in a ship, stays in someone's basement in the cold winter.
But he created his global mission, traveling the world to spread his message.
Srila Prabhupada ji, during his lifetime, he contributed tremendously in spreading this culture, eternal message of humanity, which is the blessings, which is the teachings of Bhagavad Gita.
हर प्रकार की चुनौतियों का सामना करते हुए उन्होंने ISKCON जैसा एक अभियान छेड़ा जो आज भगवान श्री कृष्ण के दिखाए मार्ग से दुनिया को परिचित कराने में जुटा हुआ है.
And look at it today, active in 100 countries, with 650 temples, centers, schools and colleges. And here's the best number of all, helping to serve 1.2 million free meals to poor children in India every single day.
All this started by a man who is in his late 70s, remember. One goal and idea. But my master, my teacher told me, take the message of Lord Krishna around the world.
It's impossible to fully describe the innumerable spiritual truths gifted to us by A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada.
श्रीला प्रभुपादा जी का ये सपना था कि देश विदेश में भगवान श्री कृष्ण का संकीर्तन हो, हरिनाम संकीर्तन हो हर जगह, जिसे आप सब devotees like a wildfire, you're all spreading this beautiful message of our Guru, Srila Prabhupada, all over the world, which is really remarkable.
Srila Prabhupada taught us this simple truth. Just love God. Just love Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Srila Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada ki jai.
Thank you.
Haribol, Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Thank you so much for that video, Sumedh. It was quite nice. It's just wonderful to find opportunities and almost excuses to glorify the spiritual master and supreme spiritual master like Swami Prabhupada.
Yeah.
And understanding is that you see Prabhupada himself gave an analogy once that if you're trying to get a rich man's attention, you have to try and get the attention of his dog. and then when you give attention to the rich man's dog, the rich man will take attention of you. So Prabhupada, in his humility, he compares himself to the Lord's animal or pet. And likewise, for us to follow in his footsteps of appreciating and acknowledging the contribution of these wonderful individuals like Swami Prabhupada. And when we glorify great personalities like Prabhupada and all the acharyas, then by their grace and their blessing, we get some credit for Krishna and Radharani to put their glance on us. Otherwise, by our own accord, on our own merit, we don't really stand a chance. And which is why it's recommended to serve as much as possible and please your seniors, please your Shiksha Guru, Diksha Guru, your acharyas. And by their recommendation, we will hopefully advance. So that's the mood that we want to attain.
Very little something. Whenever we try and, when we first come, we think first, I want to be a devotee. I want to be a very good devotee. I want to show all the devotees how good I am. And then slowly we realize how insignificant we are without the other devotees around us. And in particular, in spiritual life, what connects us to the Lord is the spiritual master. And so by serving the spiritual master, there's a line that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu always says, Gopi Bhartu Padakamalayur Dasa Dasa Anudasa, with the servant of the servant of the servant. Because for example, Prabhupada, he's given us, as he sometimes says, the backdoor key to Goloka Vrindavan. He's made it so simple for us. And because he's made it simple, the Lord will listen to whatever he says because he's a devotee. And so although it might have been 64 in the past, now it's 16, if we simply listen to what Prabhupada said, he simplified it so that even we can take it, then we will also be able to go back to Godhead. So it's actually, the beauty of the Guru is that they can channel the devotion to the Lord in the easiest way possible.
Yeah, and it just takes us back to that verse from the 4th chapter of the Bhagavad Gita. We picked up on it a couple of Sundays. Tadvidi pranipatena pariprashnena sevaya. Just by following the instruction of the spiritual master, seek submissively, serve them. And because these enlightened souls have seen the truth themselves, they will be able to show you the way as well. Simply follow the instructions. Simply serve submissively. That's the instruction of Lord Krishna in the Bhagavad Gita as well. So therefore, our excuse to glorify the acharyas, follow their instructions and serve them as best possible. Pick up one service and perfect it, or do it as best. Even in lockdown, somehow or the other, contact your other colleagues at the temple, find out one service that you could maintain, and in that way serve your Shiksha or Diksha Guru or Prabhupada directly. And that's the key to advancing. Because said, not by our own merit, not by the quality of our own services by themselves, but with the mood of pleasing the seniors, pleasing the acharyas, pleasing the spiritual master. So that's the first bhajan of the night. We've gone 8:15. Suppose Sumedh, if you're ready, then we can take us into the second bhajan of the night.
Yes, I'll just get my screen ready.
Sumedh will present that. We'll try and fit in about 4. That's the plan for the night. We will see how it goes. If anybody on the show today has any questions, comments, anything you'd like to add, please feel free to join in now, for example, when we are just getting the next bhajan up. Anybody, any comments or questions, anything that you'd like to add, please feel free. If not, then it's also okay to just continue to enjoy listening to the bhajans and singing along wherever you are.
Okay, is my screen sharing now?
Yeah, it's coming up.
So this bhajan is it on now?
Yes, it is on now.
Okay. So this bhajan is written by Sarvabhaum Bhattacharya, which is who is a great scholar at the time. He knew so much about Vedanta, he knew so much knowledge, and there's a discussion between him and Mahaprabhu, and later on he becomes a devotee. And one of the things we realize in devotion is that a devotee is called a devotee for a reason. He's not called a scholar. Just by reading so many books and learning so many shlokas, one doesn't become a devotee. It's actually by practice, it's by devotion that one becomes a devotee. And that devotion is what transforms the heart. Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Maharaj used to say that if we go to the temple and look at the deity without having any knowledge, that's nothing but a good eye massage. It just pleases our eyes very nicely, but there's no change of heart. We've got to try and get that change of heart. Okay, so that change of heart comes by devotion, and this is a very sweet bhajan, which Sarvabhaum Bhattacharya, who was firstly against the Lord, ends up writing, and it's on a very famous bhajan. If anyone is there in the audience that's going to read the translation.
Hare Krishna.
Yes, the Anil Singh.
His complexion is the hue of fresh cream tinged with kumkum. He is the ever-fresh Cupid who shoots arrows of newly blossoming flowers. He bears newer and newer modes of emotional ecstasies. He is fond of performing novel dances. He makes ever new jokes that cause much laughter. His brilliant luster is like freshly cast gold. I bow down to Gaura, the beautiful son of Mother Sachi. He is endowed with ever fresh love of Godhead. His radiant luster is like the color of fresh butter. His fresh attire is arranged in ever new fashions. He relishes ever new mellows of love for Krishna. He shines in ninefold new ways while executing the ninefold process of devotion. He is permitted with a most auspicious loving nature. I bow down to Gaura, the beautiful son of Mother Sachi. He is absorbed in devotion to Sri Hari. He maintains the chanting of the names of Hari. While chanting, he counts the holy names on the fingers of his hands. He is addicted to the name of Hari. He always has tears of love welling in his eyes. I bow down to Gaura, the beautiful son of Mother Sachi. He is always removing the suffering of material existence for mankind. He is the goal of life for persons who are dedicated to their supreme interest. He inspires men to become like honeybees, eager for the honey of Krishna Prema. He removes the burning fever of the material world. I bow down to Gaura, the beautiful son of Mother Sachi. He motivates pure devotion unto himself. He is most attractive to his beloved servitors. By his dramatic dancing, he exhibits the characteristics of the king of paramours. He causes the minds of beautiful young village women to dance. I bow down to Gaura, the beautiful son of Mother Sachi. He plays karatal as his throat emits sweet melodious sounds and the vibrant notes of the veena are softly played. He thus inspires the devotees to perform dramatic dancing that is infused with aspects of his own devotional service. I bow down to Gaura, the beautiful son of Mother Sachi. He is accompanied by the Sankirtana movement, which is the religious practice for the age of Kali. He is the son of Nanda Maharaja come again. He is the extraordinary brilliant ornament of the earth. His preaching mode is suitably adapted to the cycles of birth and death. His consciousness is fixed in meditation on his own form of Krishna. He is always accompanied by his transcendental abode. I bow down to Gaura, the beautiful son of Mother Sachi. His eyes, the soles of his feet, and his clothing are reddish like the color that heralds the rising sun. As he utters his own names, his voice falters. He awakens a sweet flavor to life throughout the universe. I bow down to Gaura, the beautiful son of Mother Sachi.
Thank you very much, Anil Prabhu. So this bhajan is about Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And as we know, the bhajans we've described, Prabhuji described very nicely. The bhajans, they contain the most deepest and esoteric truths. Like, we think we know a lot. And recently I had to read the 13th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, and it just goes over your head completely. It's so in-depth, the philosophy. But the bhajans, they're a great way of getting the deep esoteric truths, philosophical truths, but they present in a very sweet and simple manner. And so this is one of my favorite bhajans, because it glorifies Mahaprabhu in that way and emphasizes the importance of devotional service. And so without further ado, let's go into the bhajan. Nava Ghauravaram, Nava Pushpasharam, Nava Bhavadharam, Nava Lasyaparam, Nava Hasyakaram, Nava Hemavaram, Pranamami Shachi Sutta Ghauravaram, Nava Ghauravaram, Nava Pushpasharam, Nava Bhavadharam, Nava Lasyaparam, Nava Hasyakaram, Nava Hemavaram, Pranamami Shachi Sutta Nava Premayutam, Nava Nita Shucham, Nava Veshakritam, Nava Premarasam, Nava Dhavila Sachubha, Premamayam Pranamami Shachi Sutta Gauravaram. Nava Premayutam, Nava Nita Shucham, Nava Veshakritam, Nava Premarasam, Navadhavila Sachubha, Premamayam Pranamami Shachi Sutta Gauravaram. Hari Bhakti Param, Hari Namadharam, Karajapyakaram, Hari Nama Param, Nayane Satatam Pranayashrudharam, Pranamami Shachi Sutta गौरवरं हरिभक्तिपरं हरिनामधरं करजाप्यकरं हरिनामपरं नयने सततं प्रणयाश्रुधरं प्रणमामि शचीसुतं सततं जनता भवतापहरं परमार्थपरायण लोकगतिं नवलेहकरं जगतापहरं प्रणमामि शचीसुत गौरवरं सततं जनता भवतापहरं प्रणमार्थपरायण लोकगतिं नवलेहकरं जगतापहरं प्रणमामि शचीसुत गौरवरं निजभक्तिकरं प्रियचारुतरं नतनर्तननागर राजकुलं कुलकामिनी मानसलास्यकरं प्रणमामि शचीसुत गौरवरं निजभक्तिकरं प्रियचारुतरं नतनर्तननागर राजकुलं कुलकामिनी मानसलास्यकरं प्रणमामि शचीसुत गौरवरं निजभक्तिकरं प्रियचारुतरं नतनर्तननागर राजकुलं कुलकामिनी मानसलास्यकरं प्रणमामि शचीसुत गौरवरं निजभक्तिकरं प्रियचारुतरं नतनर्तननागर राजकुलं कुलकामिनी मानसलास्यकरं प्रणमामि शचीसुत गौरवरं करतालवलं कलकन्तरवं मृदुवाद्यसुवीनिकया मधुरं निजभक्तिगुणावृतनाट्यकरं प्रणमामि शचीसुत गौरवरं करतालवलं कलकन्तरवं मृदुवाद्यसुवीनिकया मधुरं निजभक्तिगुणावृतनाट्यकरं प्रणमामि शचीसुत गौरवरं युगधर्मयुतं पुननन्दसुतं धरणीसुचित्रं भवभावोचितं तनुध्यानचितं निजवासयुतं प्रणमामि शचीसुत गौरवरं युगधर्मयुतं पुननन्दसुतं धरणीसुचित्रं भवभावोचितं तनुध्यानचितं निजवासयुतं प्रणमामि शचीसुत गौरवरम् अरुणं नयनं चरणं वसनं वदने स्खलितं स्वकनामधरं कुरुते सुरसं जगतजीवनं प्रणमामि शचीसुत गौरवरम् अरुणं नयनं चरणं वसनं वदने स्खलितं स्वकनामधरं कुरुते सुरसं जगतजीवनं प्रणमामि शचीसुत गौरवरम् नवघौरवरं नवपुष्पशरं नवभावधरं नवलास्यपरं नवहास्यकरं नवहेमवरं प्रणमामि शचीसुत गौरवरं नवघौरवरं नवपुष्पशरं नवभावधरं नवलास्यपरं नवहास्यकरं नवहेमवरं प्रणमामि शचीसुत गौरवरम् हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Jaya Radha Gokulananda, Radha Gokulananda, Radha Gokulananda, Shri Radhe, Jaya Radha Gokulananda, Radha Gokulananda, Radha Gokulananda, Shri Radhe, Jaya Pancha Tattva, Pancha Tattva, Pancha Tattva, Jaya Pancha Tattva, Jaya Pancha Tattva, Pancha Tattva, Jaya Pancha Tattva. Hari Bol, Nitai Gaura, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaura, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaura, Hari Bol. Shri Harinam Sankirtan Yajna ki Jai, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu ki Jai.
Hare
Sorry, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. Thank
Took a
you.
little- Took a little longer than expected.
No,
But
it's fine. Thank you for that wonderful selection, Sumedh. It's this song is called Sachi Sutta Ashtakam, and for those who regularly listen into bhajans, you would recognize the significance of numerology, where all the prayers are mostly 8 verses. 8 is considered to be a good round number. Sachi Sutta Ashtakam. Suchi Mata was Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's mother, and Sutta means the son of. So 8 verses in glorification of Suchi Mata's son. Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya has written a few other Ashtakams again in the honor of Lord Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu.
yes,
Thank you, thank you for the wonderful supporting act to the family as well, Bhakti Devi and Lalita Preeti Mataji. Thank you. It was very wonderful to see the family together. Hare Krishna. So this is so nice, we can have a variety of interests, but if we can find a few common interests, it also works as a good binding element for the family to come together. We have so many devotee families where we have deities in the house. Balaram is on the show with us today. He gave us his darshan for a bit. Balaram has Radha Madan Mohan deity in the house, and for anybody who's seen the deities, they take a lot of service from the family, and that kind of brings the family together. Radha Mohan Prabhu and Prayarani Mataji and Balaram, all 3, they then become in the process a beautiful example of a devotee family practicing together with common interests and working to serve the Lord, whether in the deity form or in the name form or in service form. So bhajans provide a common way for devotees in a family to come together and stay connected and stay bonded, and in doing so move forward together on the path of devotional service.
Family that prays together stays together.
Absolutely, spot on. That's so wonderfully put. Family that prays together stays together. So for all those devotees who are listening in, either on Zoom or on YouTube, I'm not sure how many on YouTube at the moment. So yeah, this is the takeaway message. Even for the show today, I had Dhruv with me, so this can be a good, wonderful family activity together. I'm reminded of a wonderful verse from Srimad Bhagavatam. We are reading every Wednesday in a systematic manner. Gauranath Raj Prabhu is kindly guiding us in reading this verse. It's 1:18:13. The flip.
Close.
Yeah, not too far off. 1:18:13. It's beautiful. It's I'll just quickly read the Sanskrit for all of us. Tulayam lavena pi na swargam na punar bhavam bhagavad sangi sangasya matyanam kim utsasiha. The translation is devotees of the Lord. They value the value of a moment's association with the devotee of the Lord cannot even be compared to the attainment of heavenly planets or liberation from matter, and what to speak of worldly benedictions in the form of material prosperity. I read the purport and listened to some instructions on this matter as well. The essence is that when we engage in devotional service with the devotees, like we are doing now, these also, in these moments also, we attain liberation because we are transcendentally connected in the Lord's service. So for a devotee of the Lord, he doesn't need to change his form, bodily form, or go to another planet or in the spiritual or material worlds. While within this body, simply by the association of the devotees engaging in transcendental loving service to the Lord, we can attain the state of liberation. We can attain moksha right here, right now. And the pure devotee of the Lord is such that he doesn't really ask for any so-called liberation. The only prayer a devotee really has, of course, when we get to that platform, is to have a moment's association of the other devotees and to remain constantly in service to the Lord. And if that is available, no matter whether it's heaven or hell.
Yeah.
So liberation really is a state of mind. It's not an external outer body or a different body state. It's that state where you can be free from all anxiety, from all troubles, and experience that connection with the Lord. And that can easily be done by doing things like singing bhajans together or doing any devotional service together. So that's the take-home message, and we're trying at ISKCON Manchester to bring these programs to you every Friday, every Sunday, all the festivals, sometimes more than a few times a week. Please continue to stay connected, and because you are connected, you become source of our inspiration and encourage us to continue to push as well.
There's a little thing that when you said that reminded me that Yudhishthira says to Vidura that actually the devotees are the holy places. Holy places only holy because devotees are there. Why is Ganga holy? A lot of people will say because so many sages are because it touches the lotus feet of the Lord. And actually it says actually that's good. It touches lotus feet of the Lord, that's good. But the reason the Ganga is so holy is because the devotees are there. So wherever the devotees are there, that is actually the holy place. Because the devotee, and it's actually sometimes described like you said, that where the devotee is there, that place is Vaikuntha. Even if devotee goes hell, they'll go and do kirtan in hell. So there's no problem for them. That place will become Vaikuntha, even in hell. So devotee is like that. It's a really nice point that you made, yeah.
And so, like I said, liberation is a state of mind.
Yes, it can be a state of mind, yeah.
In that state in which you can detach yourself from all anxiety, misery, and the troubles of the world, and feel that connection with the Lord. And it's very much doable simply in offenseless, pure chanting, and by doing simple acts of devotional service, by coming together in the association of devotees, like we're doing today.
I actually wanted to mention a small point, which is also in connection with the bhajan we just did, that you just mentioned as well, which is that sometimes people they fail to see the link. How just by chanting it works, try it, but how just by chanting can I see a change? And so it's described in the 12th chapter of the Bhagavad Gita actually, that there's the different stages. I started off in a primary school. I remember my teacher once told me, you can't do 2 minus 7. I asked, what is it? No, you can't do it. It's not possible. You have 2 pens. You can't take away 7 pens. It's not possible. And then we did concept of you can't do 7 divided by 2. That's not possible. And then we later came, 2 like this, 3 remainder 1, we put remainders. Then we came to concept of fractions. And only very recently I realized that you can square root negative numbers as well and go into a whole separate dimension. So there's a different progression of understanding always. And of course, that is the topmost level. But the different progressions are given in the 12th chapter. That better, at least you try and get some knowledge. It's good to have knowledge, but better than knowledge to see a change in our heart, to bring about that devotion, is by practicing it. And how can you practice it? Well, first stage, you start off maybe like meditation. You do some sort of meditation to try and calm the mind, try and get control of the senses. But better than meditation is actually working in devotional service, working in loving devotional service. Because actually it's Krishna consciousness. Consciousness means a change in the state of mind, like Prabhuji said. It's not a change in the environment. When we want to be happy, we often say we need to change our environment. We need to, stop working. I need to stop working to be happy. But actually what Krishna consciousness tells you is no. You carry on working. Never in the Bhagavad Gita does Krishna... People think Bhagavad Gita means, I have to go, I have to renounce, I have to go to forest, I have to go and do meditation. That's not... I don't know where you're taking that from. That's not in the Bhagavad Gita. Bhagavad Gita, Krishna really clearly states that you carry on working. It's practical, but you change your consciousness. You change your perspective so you can work in devotion. And another little thing is why devotion? Why devotion? It's described here, Hari Bhakti Param Hari Namadaram. Hari Bhakti Param, why devotion? Because there's a little something about devotion which you get at a higher level, that it changes the actual character of a person. How you can measure the change is by how much am I changing as a person, how much am I developing qualities. If I see the Lord is there in everyone's heart, how can I shout at someone? How can I kick someone? If the Lord is there within them. So this is the change. So we slowly see those changes. There's actually we say, Bahir Nasimha Hridaye Narsimha Narsimha Madim Sharnam, like that. The devotee can see the Lord everywhere and he connects everything with the Lord. So how is there a chance of becoming sinful? So that's why people might think, oh yes, by becoming a good person, I can see a change. But actually, how do you become a good person? That is devotional service. How do you come to goodness? That's devotion. How do you go beyond goodness? That's by devotion. How do you go beyond even liberation later on? That's also devotion. And so the Lord is so great, but greater than how great he is also how loving he is. And so that's just a really nice point that we can realize, that the development of these qualities, devotional qualities, comes by devotional service. And I'd like to conclude, I know I went on a little bit, but it's a nice point that you made, that Lord Krishna says, some people think we're making this up, there's all the philosophy to back it up. Lord Krishna says, Vedeshu yagneshu tapassu chaiva dhaneshu yat punya phalam pratishtam atyeti tat sarvamidam viditsva yogi param snanam upaiti chadyam. By getting Vedeshu, by reading all the Vedas, yagneshu, by doing all the sacrifices, fire sacrifices, tapassu, by doing all austerities, dhaneshu, by doing all your charity, devotee simply gets all of the results of all of these just by devotional service. So it's like a hack. Yeah, we are hacking. We're doing life hacks. We're able to simply by devotional service. It doesn't make sense logically. You might think, how can you see? Just by doing devotional service, everything like this is developed. So yeah, back over to you, Madhava Kumar Prabhu. Over to you, and Dhruv.
Oh, wonderful. Agree. Krishna says in the 15th chapter, Vedesha sarve aham eva vedyo. Of studying all that there is in the Vedic scriptures, I am to be known. And the bhajans are giving us an easy access to glorifying him, knowing about his pastimes, and just establishing that forgotten connection. So, dear devotees, thank you so much for staying with us so far. We are now in the last 10-15 minutes of the show, and what we'll do is we'll get into a bhajan that at least in our family, we are used to singing every night. This is the bhajan that we use to put the Lord to sleep. And we have Bhakta Dhruv, Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna,
to sing it for us. It's called Radha Krishna Pranamora Jugala Kishore. So, Sumedh, if you bring that up. And as always, we'll just try and do a bit of translation reading. Let's get someone else. Balram, are you able to read a little bit? If you're still with us.
Yeah, sure.
And we can have your darshan while you're reading. Just a translation. Thank you. Go for it.
The divine couple, Sri Sri Radha and Krishna, is my life and soul. In life or death, I have no other refuge but them. In a forest of small kadamba trees on the bank of the Yamuna, I will seat the divine couple on a throne made of brilliant jewels. I will anoint their dark and fair forms with sandalwood paste, scented with kuya, and I will fan them with a camera whisk. Oh, when will I behold their moon-like faces? After stringing together garlands of malati flowers, I will place them around their necks. And I will offer tambula scented with camphor to their lotus mouths. With the permission of all the Sakis, headed by Lalita and Vishaka, I will serve the lotus feet of Radha and Krishna. Narottam Das, the servant of Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu, longs for this service to the divine couple.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much for that reading of the translation, Balaram. This is again a beautiful bhajan by Narottam Das Thakur. There is a story from the Vedas where there was a Brahmin. He was once meditating on the Lord, and he was wondering, how he could serve him without any resources to his disposal. So this Brahmin starts to meditate in his consciousness, starts to make an imaginary feast for the Lord. And his concentration was so pure, and he was so sincere in his offering. Mentally, as he was trying to cook for the Lord, he wanted to touch if the preparation is ready. And in his dream, while serving the Lord in an imaginary way, he burned his fingers. Such was the intensity and sincerity of his mental offering. So this bhajan allows us to do a few things to try and serve the Lord, whether we have the resources at our disposal or no. It talks beautifully about how the devotees saying, Kalindira Kule Keli Kadambira Wana, on the banks of the forest of river Yamuna, Ratna Bedira Upar Bosabudu Jana, I will make a throne made of brilliant jewels, and I will seat the divine couple on a throne made of brilliant jewels. The devotee in his heart is praying to the Lord that if he had the resources, he would wish to offer those things to the Lord. Shama Gori Ange Dibo Chanda Nera Ganda Chamara Dulabo Kabe Heri Mukha Chandra. He will make a garland of malati flowers and place it and offer different food stuff to the divine couple Radha and Krishna. And the devotee is also saying he will take permission from the Sakhis, who are the primary associates of Radha and Krishna, and then somehow get to serve the divine couple Radha and Krishna. And Narottam Das Thakur has put this beautiful prayer together. So all of us who are aspirant of doing some direct service to the Lord can sing this bhajan whenever you like. It's a very short, sweet bhajan. And if you do it sincerely, the Lord will accept just your sincere recitation of these prayers will be accepted, like Narottam Das Thakur is saying. And with that mood, we would like to sing this bhajan for tonight. And that, I believe, will take us towards the close of the program. We'll have 5 minutes to just do a recap and take any last comments, announcements, etc. So stay with us for this very wonderful, beautiful bhajan that gives us a direct opportunity to serve the Lord, be it in our hearts and minds. There you go, Dhruv. Over to you.
Radha Krishna Pranamora Jugala Kishore.
Radha Krishna Pranamora Jugala Kishore.
Radha Krishna Pranamora Jugala Kishore.
Oh, Radha Krishna Pranamora Jugala Kishore.
Jivane Marane Sachi Arana Himo.
Jivane Marane Gati Varna Himo. Radha Krishna Pranamora Yugala Kishore. Oh, Kalindira Kulakeli Kadambera Yugala Shamarajulavo Kabe Mukha Chandra.
Radha Krishna Pranamora Jugala Kishore.
Radha Krishna Yugala Kishore.
Satya Malatir Divotora Kale.
Gatiya Malatir Mala Divodora Gale. Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada. Lord, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Lord, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, की जय, श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय, नित्य गौर प्रेमानंदे, हरि 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 बोल, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you, dear devotees. That brings us to the close of this monthly Bhajan Sandhya presentation. We have Gaura Natraj Prabhu with us to make some closing comments. I'll invite Sumedh before that to share any final thoughts before we get into the announcements. Over to you, Sumedh.
This is one of very, very sweet bhajans. As you said, we also do. It's part of our duties to sleep this one as well. Sometimes we get so deep in the philosophy, Radha Krishna philosophy especially, that is like so deep. They're both the same. Radha Krishna ekatma dui dehadari. They're one person, but they have two. But that's so deep. So sometimes we don't get that. It's very interesting, but sometimes we may not understand. But what we can understand is that all the philosophy leads us to devotional service. And of all types of devotional service, in this age of Kali, the Sankirtan Yajna is what is advocated. So whatever we can do, let's try and engage in service. It's our nature to serve. It's our nature to love. Let's engage in the service where we can. And also this music. Music is a very good form of expressing emotion. So many people these days, when they want to feel an emotion, they always put some music on. So this is the best, the highest emotion we can feel. At least if you want to listen to music or do music, do it in the Lord's service as well. Any other comments from you, Madhava Kumar Prabhu?
Much has been said, Sumedh Prabhu. So much. I'll invite Gaura Natraj Prabhu to make some closing comments and announcements. Over to you, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Madhava Kumar Prabhu and team. Thank you for carrying on doing this service of Bhajan Sandhya. Carrying on doing a particular service is not easy. It takes a lot of commitment and determination and patience is required. Thank you very much for doing this on a regular basis. And also, as you mentioned, any devotee from the congregation, would like to sing a bhajan for the Bhajan Sandhya, as Madhava Kumar Prabhu had mentioned, please do contact Madhava Kumar Prabhu, and he's happy to involve you in the Bhajan Sandhya program. So just a very quick announcement from my side. This Sunday is Father's Day, and on this special occasion, we have His Holiness Dhanand Swami Maharaj giving class. Krishna is the Supreme Father. So please attend this program on Sunday. And just a reminder that the Ekadashi, Nirjala Ekadashi, is on the 21st Monday of this month. Coming Monday is the Nirjala Ekadashi. So if one wants to fast that day, that may be a devotees they can take advantage of it, and one will get the benefit of observing all the other Ekadashis in the year. So just to let you know that it falls on 21st May, this coming Monday. So if you are planning to do Nirjal, you can start preparing from now onwards. As you're all probably aware that the government has extended the easing of lockdown until 19th July. And as you are all probably aware that the Delta variant is spreading very fast, and the number of cases are increasing. So we request all the devotees to take care and strictly follow the government guidelines for your benefit and also for the benefit of others. The temple management is still closely observing and monitoring all the rules and regulations, and also thinking of reopening the temple. But we will let you know. So we don't want to risk the health of devotees and don't want to open sooner. So we will open when it is the right time. But until then, please, do take advantage of our regular programs, Sunday, Friday, and also we have Sangha groups going on. And if you are not part of any Sangha group, please, do contact the temple WhatsApp number, and get involved in one of the Sangha groups. So that's it from my side. Madhav Kumar Prabhu, back to you.
Thank you so much for that, Prabhu. Well rounded. Just a quick one. In the month of July, there are 5 Saturdays, and this is just the first notification. 5 Saturdays for the month of July. We have planned a workshop, practical lessons from the Vedic scriptures. Wonderful guest speaker has been organized. It'll be very nominally charged, just to cover some basic expenses and also contribute towards Shastradan and Go Seva in India. So wonderful opportunity. Please look out for the adverts and the promos that will start this weekend onwards. 5 sessions on Saturday, workshop for practical lessons from the Vedic scriptures. So look out for the promos for that. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
I think if everyone said what they need to say, then we'll see everyone on Sunday with the normal Sunday Feast lecture. And until then,
Hare Krishna. Sumedh Prabhu? Sumedh Prabhu?
yes.
Can you share that link of that video, Prabhupada's video, on the chat, please?
Yeah, it's a WhatsApp video. We can put it in the WhatsApp group, in the IM Congregation
Please.
WhatsApp group.
That'll be wonderful. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. Hare Krishna, devotees. Haribol.
Nice to see Premdatri Mataji and Ramnichandra Prabhu as well. Haribol, Rahman Prabhu. Wonderful to see you all. Hari Hari. Now and then, please, devotees give their darshan.
Thank you.
At least we can